Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to ARK Survival Evolved with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the Halloween update. In today's episode, we're going to be exploring some of the new features which have been added during the recent Halloween patch, but mostly we're going to be focusing on taming a spider. Yes, at long last, they have decided to make spiders tameable, and I intend to get one right away. And more importantly, they're tameable via non-aggressive means. You actually have to use bug repellent, get close to them, and hand feed the creepy crawlies. So that's going to be quite the experience. You see in front of you, though, the Dodo Rex moon. So we're going nowhere tonight. Right now, somewhere on ARK, there is a marauding Dodo Rex, an animal of unparalleled power. Even Angron would simply be destroyed by its might. And I'm not even kidding there, by the way. The Dodo Rexes are absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to be avoiding that for now and sorting out some things like making myself a mind wipe tonic so that I may redo my engram points because I need the bug repellent along with the spider saddle. So while we're here for a few seconds, let's have a look at a couple of things we can actually check whilst we're here. So first of all, you may have already been able to see them. We have scarecrows, which you can simply pick up and keep. I'm really hoping they'll be here after the patch disappears, but I really don't know. It'd be lovely if they did, because it kind of shows how long we've been here. So we've got those, we've got pumpkins, which you can apparently carve by using paint on, so I'll be testing it out in a second. Also, I do apologise for how bright and washed out this looks. I have upgraded the gamma just for a little bit so that we can see in the dark, since, well, this clip was basically impossible beforehand. And we have the graveyard, which of course we can steal things like the stolen headstones, which, well, it actually makes the ghosts rather upset, and the dead are here to scare us. But there we are. And speaking of the dead, that's another thing we're going to be trying to do today. Apparently, undead dinosaurs currently roam the land, in the form of the Rex, the Carno, the Raptor, the Bronto, and the Trike, the Stego, and I think that's it, but I've probably missed at least one other dinosaur, which apparently if you kill, you can actually loot their costume. If you look at something like my Rex, but not Tina, because Tina can't actually use a saddle yet. No, you can't. If we have a look-see at Bertha, you can see there's now space for a costume. So what we need to do is go and find one of those and kill it, so that way Angron can look even more fearsome than ever. If only Burden was with us now, we could actually dress her up as the, well, dead thing she is. But honestly, the two things we're after is the Bronto costume and the Rex costume. So I'll be back in a second once I've made the potion. Thankfully, it's not too difficult to make, especially now I've got so much prime meat currently, well, available to us in the form of our glorious mosasaur over here, well, Moss, who's currently just chilling, waiting to go hunting. And I'll be right back. Once I've harvested this stone, we should have all of the materials we require, as all I actually need right now is the spark powder to make the stimulant, and then we're pretty much done, so hurrah for that. I've only just came back to recording just now because I wanted to say that my mosasaur is a freaking fantastic thing, and that it turns out Dove is actually now a blacksmith. I have no idea how Dove got down here. I don't know why Dove is staring very evilly at the anvil, but all I know is perhaps that Dove here is actually a secret member of the Dodo Rex cult and is planning against us. But honestly though, back to the seriousness, the mosasaur is absolutely phenomenal. It's so good at harvesting prime meat. It's probably actually the best we've got, as it can, well, pretty much kill sharks in a single blow. That's really good for prime meat. So the medjo berries of something else, so that there. Where's the rest of our stone? Oh, it's all up here, okay. And the rest of our flint, question mark. We have 5 spark powder. Are we going to need more flint? Probably. I thought we had more than that in our inventory. Okay, all that becomes spark powder afterwards. We'll be right back as soon as all this is sorted and I stop throwing stuff on the floor by accident. The mind wipe tonic was a success, and now of course we have the infinite fun of figuring out where all the points go and sorting all that out. So the big thing is, in fact let me just have a look now, the big thing is that we need to find the spider saddle. I do want the war drums as well, so spider saddle, war drums, and honestly some of the furniture. That's all the stuff we want. And there's the big one though. We need the bug repellent. So let's grab that straight away. We'll find everything else and we'll be right back. Insert angry noise here that it actually turns out you need various crops to create the bug repellent. And now that we actually need it, we have no crops currently growing because the ones back on Memorial Plateau have long since died. So we're going to set up a really makeshift farm here. We're going to go away, we're going to give our lovely little baby Rex a load of food. I'm going to get something to eat for about an hour or so, and we're going to hope that the lovely crops here will grow. Thankfully I did have crop pots ready since I get them from almost every single supply drop. So there we go, these should be irrigated, excellent. Now we simply need the seeds, so I'll go and get those. We need the rock carrots and one other crop whose name escapes me. So on the upside, I was actually planning on making a bit of a farm in a future episode. So the dodo farm over there basically became a little fertilizer factory with the compost bin we put down several episodes ago when fertilized eggs became a thing. So we have the seeds, we have the crop pots currently there, and now all we need to do is plant them, put the fertilizer, and then have a good old heap of going AFK, which honestly does sum up a scarily large chunk of the end game of ARK, it must be said. So Angron, oh wait, no, you're not Angron, you're far from Angron, you're a lovely docile pack animal. Lovely docile animal, could you please be kind enough to look after these crops? Okay, you will be rock carrot, which is one of the ones we actually need. You will be, where are you? The other one we need, which should be somewhere in my inventory. I did have them a second ago, unless I had maybe multiple stacks of the seed, which wouldn't surprise me. Yep, there we go. You, one fertilizer, just for a second, and then on the other side we'll do the same, except for this time we'll be using the Savo root and long grass. So this way we have a load of the advanced crops for the future, which will also be used in things like... Wait, what did I put in you? You are... So, okay, yes, your long grass, which are of course used in kibble, along with other things, so it's not a total waste of time. Okay, so, back in a while. These will take a while, so basically later in the day. As horrible as it is to say, and even more horrible as it is to do, I'm afraid the two crops here have been cheated in using console commands. As always, I'm very open about whenever I use console commands, as I don't want to try and hide things from the audience. These two lovely crops have been cheated in purely because I don't have the time to sit around. After 2.5 hours of waiting, the crops are still in the seedling stage, and I'm afraid in about 14 hours, I'm actually leaving to go back home to England to spend the Halloween holiday with my parents. So if I don't, you know, get all this sorted now, we're pretty much not having a video before I go home. So, narcotics. We need some narco berries, and then that's all we need. Although we do also need some pelts. I'm 99% sure I still have some on pretzel from when I went over to the snow biome recently. Oh, there we are. To the snow biome recently, because I did, well, kill a couple of animals whilst there. So now all we need is some more narco berries, and we can get the bug repellent sorted, and then choose a cave to go to actually find the spiders we're choosing to tame today. Now, the big thing with the spiders, and the main thing with the spiders, is apparently they prefer rotten meat. So we're going to put that to the test. We're going to bring a load of meat, which will rot on the way, and we'll figure out which they prefer while we're there. We can also sort out the saddle before we go. So let's go back to the mortar and pestle, let's put all the narcos in, and as we're making the narcotics, let's have a quick look, see how to make the saddle. Now I'm fairly certain I did see it in here somewhere. There we go. We need a lot more fibre, as to be expected, and we need either chitin or keratin. Now, which one of my animals will have either of those? Or Angron should have... Wait. You don't get chitin, do... No, you do get chitin. Oh, I thought you got the cementing paste instead of chitin, so never mind. Let's get ourselves some fibre. Let's make all this out, and then let's go to a cave. I'm thinking perhaps the cave over on Carnivore Island might be one of the better ideas, although that is quite far away. There is a cave just a little bit inland, actually, if the lag will go away for a second, which is around about here-ish, I think, in this kind of vague area. We could go to that. I'm not sure just yet. We'll have a quick look-see at the cave locations as I make the bug repellent, and then we'll start our lovely journey over there on Pretzel. The saddle has been created, thankfully being remarkably cheap, and we have exactly 7 bug repellent. So still not all that much bug repellent after all the hassle I went through waiting around and trying to get the crops to grow, but there we are. The crops of course are still growing, they're heavily fertilised and watered, so in the future we will have a farm. It's just farming in this game at the moment is at the stage where it's a little bit on the broken side. The fertilizer element is a bit insane. It's actually a lot worse for servers than it is for single player. In single player, you of course, the world is only active when you're here, which does make it worse when you're waiting around for it to actually grow, but once they're at full size, the amount of fertilizer they consume while the server is active is ridiculous, and then the plants simply die off if the fertilizer's left for even a brief moment with no one attending it. So I'm still deciding which cave to go to, and I'm thinking I'm going to go to the cave near Memorial Plateau, purely because it's a lot safer to land nearby, and it does have spiders in the very first area, whereas the one in Carnivore Island, of course, the big issue there is, well, it's on Carnivore Island, you know, the place with the carnivores and stuff. Here we are in the frozen tundra. So I've chosen this cave instead of the cave we were originally going to go to, because that cave was being guarded by saber-tooths. In addition to all of this, there is also the simple fact that this cave here is, well, one of the safer in terms of me trying to tame a spider, as it has much less chance of having things like titan boas and stuff awaiting me to kill me. And we can also get some pelts while we're here. We've already got an additional 30, so that's pretty darn good. Well, let's head into the cave and hope for the best. Actually, first of all, though, I'm going to deal with those few ants up there, which are, I think, chasing me from just a second ago anyway, as I just grabbed one of the new candy corn supply drops. And for those who don't know what's going on about that, well, the supply drops have been converted into, well, they're giant candy corns that fall from the sky. I'll make sure to record one later. Also, it turns out it wasn't an ant at all, it was a dilo, so there we go. Pretzel, you stay there. You're in neutral, hopefully, so you will fight back. Excellent. And let's begin our hunt. I do have the torch with me, I think, so that'll be good. There we go, number 6. And here we go in the most cramped of all of the caves. I guess that is one issue. It's going to be really difficult to actually get the animal out, but hopefully we can find one pretty darn soon. As soon as we see one, we'll slap on the repellent. Now, last time I was here, there was loads of them in this direction. I remember as soon as we went left, there were much smaller caves that obviously weren't the correct way, but they were full of spiders. Can't hear any yet, though. Oh, yes I can. Let's get our stuff ready. Oh, there's a wild bat nearby. Not really what I want, but apparently they can be repelled as well by the same bug repellent we're using currently. But I don't want to use it until I absolutely have to, as we do only have 7. Now, of course, that is 70 minutes, but better safe than sorry, I suppose. Okay, several bats over there. They are tameable now. I'm not sure if they're also hand-feedable. In fact, maybe the bats are the hand-feedable ones. I'm not honestly sure. I only quickly glanced at the wiki about this. Where, oh where are my glorious spiders? Oh no, one of my spoiled meat just spoiled. Because, you know, that makes sense and stuff. Well, I guess it does. It's turning into absolute rot and nothing else. It's too quiet in here as well, I've noticed. Oh, shame they weren't in this cave here. That'd be much easier. Well, there's a bat. Let's see if it's... able to be hand-fed. Okay, bug repellent's on. Oh, yeah, they are! Excellent, okay, let's see if we can get a bat out of this as well, then. Since I imagine they can follow us in the air. Ow! Okay, we got too close with that one, okay. My bad. I'm sorry, Batty, but you are going to die now. Yeah, you still need to be really careful with not getting too close, so... That was a lesson we've just learned, and now let's see if we can find ourselves a spider, which is what we're actually after. Okay, there we go, the first spider we found. Sadly really low level, but at least that means it'll be easier to tame. So, taking the lessons from the bat and not being a bit... Ooh, not being too hasty to get too close to this thing, okay. Is that thing stuck? I'm really hoping it's not stuck, because if that's the case, then once we tame it, well, we won't be able to get out with it, so... Edge closer. Okay, we're currently timing it. Okay, so we've got to wait until it's hungry again. Hopefully Spider's hunger replenishes quickly. That would be nice. Oh, it also turns out I was lugging around with me a big lump of stone, so that was good. Already halfway, actually over halfway. Oh, but this is eating really quickly. Okay, that's not too bad at all. So I'll be right back, hopefully, with this thing being tamed, or, well... or me needing to kill it. It is still very worrying that it's not moving at all. Saying that, neither of the bats, and the bats are definitely able to move and try and kill me, as I've already had to kill about 4 more since I've been in here. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than expected, not because this is actually difficult, because it turns out this thing eats so darn quickly, we're rapidly taming it, but because I didn't realise just how fast the taming bar goes down if you ignore the poor creature. So I basically turned around, defended myself against another bat and came back, and I'd essentially lost the entire taming bar. It seems like you have about a 5 or 6 second grace period once you allow the thing to be hungry, but then if you don't feed it, it simply forgets you exist and goes back to just sitting there, getting more angry at everything. There we go, we have our first spider, so, can you follow me, sweetie? Also, are you female or male, or is it a genderless thing, like a lot of things are? No, you are genderless, okay. Well, we do have the saddle. Now, this may bug you out something horrible, it must be said. Let's put some meat in your inventory. Oh, wow, you're... oh, come on! Inventory's too heavy to jump, but you can jump. Okay, so... the big problem that... why are you eating so much? Oh, because is it because that meat's better for you? Okay, too heavy to jump. What can we drop? Actually, what's your maximum weight? Oh, wow, only 102. Okay, we've got to be much lighter then. I guess what the big problem is, well, yeah, I have far too many things which are just too heavy. I'm hoping I can take this with me. Come on. Okay, what I'll do is I'll make a quick run for the exit. Oh, no, it's moving. I still think it'd be better if we could actually saddle this thing. Okay, so I'll make a quick run for the exit. I'll give Pretzel all of my stuff, including my coat, which means, of course, I'll be freezing to death. Then we'll run back and put the saddle on it, therefore being able to actually control it, and thus get out of this a lot easier, because right now this is absolutely horrendous. I still really hope this thing can get through this gap. I think it will be able to, but... we'll see. Is Pretzel still there? Yep, good. Pretzel hasn't moved. Fantastic. Hello, Pretzel. Guess what, Pretzel? I'm about to freeze to death. Because, you know, all the fun in the world like that and stuff. Yep, already freezing to death right now, so it literally doesn't matter. Okay, just... there you go, because that's what a true Arctic explorer looks like. And transfer all of this. There you go, there you go, there you go. Don't need the meat right now. Although we will be going through food quite quickly. I have my cooked prime meat still. What else don't we need? We don't need arrows. No, we don't need the scuba gear, even if it's basically weightless anyway. We don't need anything, but I would rather keep the armor just in case. We don't need that because it's broke. We don't need the arrows. How much weight am I carrying now? 54, which means I should be okay. Oh, wait, no, unless it's counting the saddle weight. Which I don't think it would. Okay, you can also have the pike, because we do have the sickle as a weapon. Okay, we're freezing to death. Let's move! Come on, come on, come on. Also, this is about to break, which is going to make this really dark for everyone watching. Okay, so we go to the main room, which is here. And our little spider's over there. Let's actually turn on the bug repellent again. A bit wasteful, admittedly. How did I get there? Which way is it? Is it this way? Okay. Oh, please be able to go through this hole. If not, then we've chosen a really bad place to get the spider. We may have chosen a really bad place to get the spider. Okay, how about if I... Can this thing actually jump? Doesn't seem like it. Can it climb? Just look, climb thing? No, okay. I think we'll probably be able to glitch this thing through if we're careful. There is also a gap over there, so what I'll do is I'll try that. And I'll exhaust every means. Then I'll be right back. I'm fairly certain we can get through, though. Come on, last freaking gap. Let me through. There we go. Okay, so it turns out the first gap we could actually get through by just, well, me dismounting. It was me being silly. That gap, however, required some ingenuity, and that basically meant me getting on and then getting off over and over again. It turns out that bugged it the crap out. So anyway, there we go. We have our spider. That took way longer than expected, and look, I'm dying almost completely of freezing now because of how long it took to actually get the spider out of there. Okay. Give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. There we go. Now, do we want to go back in there and try for a bat? You know, I don't think I will, purely because I don't think this was the best idea. It was okay getting the spider through, because you could glitch it out with the saddle, because, well, I've got things like trikes through tiny little gaps before, purely by doing stuff like that, but I really don't think we're going to be able to get something like the bat through without the saddle. So let's see if Pretzel here can actually grab the spider. That'd be great. Yes, and then we're going to take it back to Herbivore Island and see just how powerful its bite really is. We have something really creepy heading your way, Herbivore Island. Because nothing says majestic like a giant flying reptile holding on to a giant, very angry-looking arachnid, illuminated by a blood moon which at any point can turn into a dodo face. I mean, that pretty much just sums up Halloween for me, honestly. We return home with just enough time to test out our new pet against one of the citizens of Herbivore Island, and in this case, a innocent-looking dodo. So first of all, let's test out the web effect. There we go, it took up quite a bit of stamina, honestly, but the slowing effect seems rather substantial. Next, the bite, both in damage and in the torpor increase. So, ideally, this dodo will be knocked out by a single or perhaps a double bite, but by the looks of how much damage it's taken, sadly some from the actual web itself, it's probably going to die long before that happens. Yeah, that thing's got away pretty well. Okay, perhaps going against something with a little bit more health, something like a parasaur, or perhaps a Phiomia. Well, after 9 bites, now 10, all quite evenly spaced at about 5 to 6 seconds, I will say that the torpor effect of the spiders is very, very weak. I even actually looked up on Google just to make sure they even give the effect, and apparently they do, just it's very weak, especially in comparison to the scorpion. So the spider might not be the best pet to keep around to actually do any taming. I really do believe this level 2 is going to be long killed before we actually get it knocked out, and bite again. Oh, it might survive one more bite, I think, but then the parasaur will die. I'm not sure though, it could simply have a much longer effect. It does require a little bit more research, but oh, there we go, knocked out. Wow, yeah, it does have a much longer time to actually add the effect than I thought, because that was a good 10 plus seconds, so perhaps it was a simple matter of I was biting a bit too frequently. I guess that's just one of those things you've got to practice around a bit and figure out the most efficient way of doing things. So I think this poor parasaur really does deserve to be tamed and fed some yummies. So we'll go ahead and tame that off camera. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's episode and are enjoying ARK as a series, then of course likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly shows that ARK is a series you wish to see continued in the future. In the next episode we're going to be hunting the undead dinosaurs and hopefully getting a whole series of costumes. Mostly we're going to be after the Rex and the Trike. Actually no, the Rex and the Raptor, since Raptors will look freaking cool. Oh, and the Bronto. Pretty much we're going to be after everything. Thank you again, and goodbye.